Shabbat Shalom. We've been practicing so much choir stuff. Let me hear the diction. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, that is so nice. And tonight is about many wonderful things, and that is great, but first and foremost, it is about Shabbat and about God. So let's start with that and get our minds ready as we sing with our Shabbat singers and with all of our choirs. Hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Wow, if that was a taste of things to come, we are surely in for an incredible evening. So I hope you had a chance to see the pictures that were streaming before services started. What a hoot, weren't they great? Michael, they make us smile, and when we see you smile, you make us smile, and we just start laughing because, yes. That's the smile. So tonight is a night of pure celebration. It's a night of Shabbat, of song, and of Smolash. So to paraphrase a saying from our tradition, do not speak where you can sing. And that is exactly what we're going to do tonight. So it's no coincidence that tonight we celebrate Shabbat Shirah, the Sabbath of song, which commemorates that moment when the Israelites crossed the sea and sang in freedom and in joy And we celebrate Shabbat Shira at the very same time, of course, that we celebrate Cantor Smolash, who, if you've spent any time at all in our office area, you know that he is constantly singing his heart out and entertaining all of us. So to begin this incredible Shabbat together, I'd like to invite Hilda Smolash, Michael's mother, Dr. Jen Green, Michael's wife, and Ayla Smolash, Michael's daughter, to come forward now for the lighting of the Shabbat candles as we turn to page 14.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
The flickering flames of the Shabbat candles mark this moment as sacred time, a time of warmth as our community joins together in prayer, a time of brightness as our spirits are lifted by the melodies of our people, a time of light as we look forward through the eyes of our children.
Together we say, Amen. We turn to page 34 for Lecha Dodi.
Zachor b'dibur echad Hishmihanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem tiferet v'litila.
Every voice, Lecha Dodi.
Shabbat.
Ve'esarei, v'charamei, ve'konamei, ve'chinuyei chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, va'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, mi chamocha.
We brought in many candidates, and none of them had the beautiful voice or the beautiful soul that we were seeking. And I heard Michael sing, and I heard that tenor voice, and we spent a little time speaking with one another, and I knew that he had to come here to West Bloomfield.
I can't believe it's been 13 years since they've come to us, and I still love hearing the Canadian accent. Even though he became a US citizen, it's still there. But we are so blessed to have Michael here with us for the past 13 years.
I love that he's born July 4th. He was meant to be here.
So when Michael sings, every time I watch him, it seems so effortless. It just comes from him so naturally, and every single time he sings, it's like a gift.
I completely agree. It's when he sings, it's like it's coming from his very soul, and he's sharing the very essence of himself with all of us.
When Michael first came here, we were all thrilled with his voice. I think what has been most apparent to all of us is that he brings his spirit, his soul, the essence of who he is into every moment when he's singing. So he prays. He's moved from singing to praying. He's moved from sharing a moment with the congregation to leading the congregation in prayer.
Michael is such an unbelievably talented musician, and anyone who hears him, comes up and tells us he should be on Broadway, he should be doing this. He's so unbelievably amazing. But to sing with Michael, he is also such a generous musician. He makes everyone who participates in anything with him sound amazing and feel amazing, as if they are part of something really special.
When we're rehearsing music together with the band or just one-on-one, sometimes Michael needs to hit the reset button in his brain, and he'll literally rewind like a tape would, and he'll go and then do the whole thing again in his brain. And that sort of tells me a little bit about how detailed he is in his approach. He brings all of it to the table. He's thinking about it, he's feeling it, and he's projecting all of that through his music.
We would write jokes, we would write lines, realizing that we could actually never say any of those lines from the bima, but we would laugh and laugh and laugh together.
And you're gonna hear the
Another one of my jobs here at Temple Israel is to be Michael Smolash's editor. That is not an easy job. Whether it be Purim spiels or videos that are sent out, I'm the one that does the cutting. I'm so sorry, Michael. I love you.
Michael's voice touches our heart and spirit, and I'll tell you, it's not simply his voice. What he has done with the various choirs at Temple is amazing. We hear teenagers singing in this congregation as they've never sung before. We hear young adults who are part of our congregational choirs. We hear more mature adults who found spirituality in the music that Michael is able to share with them. And he makes those moments when he is together with them, when he is praying with them, very, very important in their lives.
To sit on a Friday night Kabbalat Shabbat service and to watch our teenagers express themselves musically through prayers, it is a magnificent opportunity for me to pray.
There are a lot of clergy out there at many different synagogues, and something that congregants tell me over and over again about Michael is that he is so authentic. He's so real. He believes so deeply in the mission of Judaism and the mission of Temple Israel, and everything he does, musically, spiritually, leading the congregation, teaching, is done with his full heart.
It is easy to speak of Michael Smolash in terms of his talent and beautiful tenor voice, but I'd like to focus instead on Cantor Michael Smolash as a learner. Rarely have I ever encountered anyone who is as devoted to learning new things or skills as Michael.
Michael is an unbelievable colleague. To work with him every day, to share a wall with him, to hear him practicing music over and over and over again to make sure that it is perfect, is an example of how all of us should take seriously our roles as community leaders.
We rise for the call to worship on page 44. 1, 2, 3. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la, la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Leolam Vaed. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Leolam Vaed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Leolam Vaed. Leolam Vaed. Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. So you all have chills now, right? Everybody out there. Everybody. In this next part of our service, we are commanded to listen. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. And it's not a coincidence that the words used to describe the most profound statement of faith for us as Jews commands us to listen and to hear. Because for us, the soul of who we are as a people, the soul of who we are as a congregation, is so much to do with the music in this place and the music of our people. And so we join together in the words of Listen on page 56 and get ready to feel those chills for a while longer.
And you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen.
Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen, listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen, listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Listen, listen to our God.
Listen, listen to our God.
We continue on page 57 with the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'ikumecha ukshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotatvo b'neinecha uketavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yetem kedoshim le'lo lehem ani Adonai Eloheihem asher hotzeiti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem Elohim ani Adonai Eloheihem
The words of the Micha Mocha can be found on page 62 in your prayer books. But tonight, the Micha Mocha is more than just a prayer that comes in the middle of our service. It is an entree to the Torah. Because the words of the Micha Mocha are found in this week's Torah portion in Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea. And so tonight, the Micha Mocha will help us bring the Torahs out. The Micha Mocha will enter us into that amazing moment when our ancestors saw freedom on the other side of the Red Sea, when our ancestors went through the desert to find the words of Torah at Mount Sinai from God. And so at this moment in our service, we hear the words of Micha Mocha, and we rise as we take the Torahs from the ark.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedor HaKodesh. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedor האלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. מי כמוך, כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך, עוזי פלא פלא. מי כמוך, כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך, עוזי פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע יום לפני משה, זה לי ענו ואמרו כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך לעולם ועד ועד. מי כמוך, כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך, כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך לעולם ועד ועד. מי כמוך, כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm really sorry for my hair on the Torah cam right now. But for the honor of this special Torah reading, this reading of Shirat Hayam, the splitting of the sea in honor of Michael Smolash's 13th year, it's my pleasure to invite up his parents, Hilda and Peter Smolash.
יעמוד הינדה בת מיכאל ופנחס ליה בן מנחם מנדל הכהן.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן. אמן. אז ישיר משה ובני ישראל את השירה הזאת לאדוני, ויאמרו לאמור, השירה לאדוני כי גאו גאה סוס ורוכבו רמה בים. עוזי וזמרת יה ויהי לי לישועה, זה אלי וענווהו אלוהי אבי וארוממנו. אדוני איש מלחמה, אדוני שמו, מרכבות פרעה וחילו ירה בים, מבחר שלישיו טובעו בים סוף. תהומות יחסומו, ירדו במצולות כמו אבן. ימינך אדוני נדרי בכוח, ימינך אדוני תירץ אויב. וברוב גאונך תרוס קמך, תשלח ארונך יאכלמו כקש. וברוח אפיך נרמו מים, ניצבו כמו נד נוזלים, קפאו תהומות בלב ים. אמר אויב ארדוף אשיג, אכחלק שלל, תמלאהו נפשי, אריק חרבי תורשמו ידי. נשבת ברוחך כי שמו ים, צללו כעופרת במים אדירים. מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נוראתי לוד עושה פלא. נטית ימינך תבלעמו ארץ, נחית וחסדך עמזו גאלת, נהלת ועוזך אל נווה קודשך. שמעו עמים ירגזון, חיל אחז יושבי פלשת. אז נבהלו אלופי אדום, אלי מואב יוחזמו רעד, נמוגו כל יושבי כנען. תיפול עליהם אימתה ופחד, בגדול זרועך ידמו כאבן. עד יעבור עמך אדוני, עד יעבור עמזו קנית. תביאמו ותטעמו בהר נחלתך, מכון לשבטך. פעלת אדוני מקדש, אדוני קרנו ידיך. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, כי בסוס פרעה ברכבו ופרשיו בים, וישב אדוני עליהם את מי הים. ובני ישראל הלכו ביבשה בתוך הים. ותיקח מרים הנביאה אחות אהרון את התוף בידה, ותצאנה כל הנשים אחריה בתופים ובמחולות. ותן להם מרים, שירו לאדוני כי גאו גא, סוס ורוכבו רמה וים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. We rise now as we return the Torah to the ark.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה.
Every day is a gift, and I try to really appreciate it. So in my sadness I look for a lesson, in my tears I do the same. Every day I count my blessings and make the time to pray. The tree of life, dancing on the branches, swinging on the vines. Look at me, hey, hey, nice sight, climbing up the tree of life. I know I'm gonna make some mistakes. Lessons learned means sometimes a branch has to break. But this tree will stand forever, growing stronger every day. As we study Torah together, let each one of us say, I'm climbing up the tree of life, dancing on the branches, swinging on the vines. Look at me, hey, hey, nice sight, climbing up the tree of life. The tree of life, dancing on the branches, swinging on the vines. Look at me, hey, hey, nice sight, climbing up the tree. Oh, oh, tree of life.
The word Vashamru is in the command form in Hebrew. We are commanded to guard or perhaps preserve the Sabbath. And that is a responsibility we feel very keenly here at Temple Israel. And people ask us about the key to our success. How have we drawn so many people to Sabbath worship? It's very simple, really. We realized early on that it is all about the music. Not the sermons, the music. And how blessed we are that our cantors have found a way to fill this sanctuary, to fill our hearts with music that shomer, that defends and protects and enhances and beautifies the Sabbaths of our lives in such incredible and sacred ways as we sing together this song of glorifying the Sabbath on page 65.
Rise to page 68 for the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agitei latecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol. וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently. Words are in your programs. Ani amarti, every voice, come on. Ani amarti, Elohim atem, uvenei elyon kul yamamaya. Ani amarti, Elohim atem, uvenei elyon kul yamamaya.
Jewish tradition has taught us for years that we should say a prayer for healing, a prayer that we usually sing here. But now science has taught us that it's the song, it's the music that may in fact be healing. And research has begun to show that music can in fact elevate a mood or reduce stress and maybe even promote healing. It can evoke emotional responses from us, it can stimulate us, and it can promote us to heal. But in Judaism, we know that. We have centuries of beautiful prayers and music, and here at Temple Israel, we certainly know that, because we have been blessed with the music of our talented Cantor Smolash for the last 13 years, music that has brought us joy and comfort, excitement and delight. So music can be healing, especially on a night like tonight when we're surrounded by this incredible community and listening to the words of our prayers sung by beautiful choirs and celebrating 13 years of the Smolash family. So as we turn now to page 121 and sing the words at the bottom of the page, let us find healing in the voices around us, and let us join together as a sacred community to send our prayers of healing to all those who may be in need.
Help
About 30 years ago, my mom let me know that a brilliant musician had been brought all the way from London to revitalize the music at perhaps Canada's most prestigious synagogue. So a week later, I got in touch and was invited to join Stephen Glass's choir, but little did I know that it was the start of a lifetime in synagogue music. Over the next decade and a half, Stephen electrified the Jewish choral scene across America with his profound musicianship and unstoppable energy. You can see in the program his accomplishments are just too many to fit in, but rest assured he is a dominant force of Jewish music in our generation. His arrangements, compositions, masterful accompaniment, and conducting have raised up every major Jewish center across America. But most importantly, he is a dear friend of 30 years to both Jen and me, and so I'm so pleased to welcome and introduce to you my friend, Stephen Glass.
Shabbat Shalom. This is a very special occasion. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to contribute to it. Thank you for welcoming me so warmly. To the clergy, the president, and the lay leadership, thank you for the privilege to talk to this amazing congregation. Neil, thank you for the incredibly friendly welcome you gave me yesterday. Sean, you're an amazing person, and the work that you've done with these choirs, from the adults to the children, is really magnificent. Children, the impression that you made on me yesterday was out of this world. You made my job so easy, and I really admire you. To all the singers, the adults, and all the instrumentalists, the things that you do to inspire us every week and the joy that you bring to so many people is something that I want to applaud. Maya, thank you for all your help to me and being on top of every small detail. Cantor Smolash, Cantor Michael, you know what I think of you. We connected the moment we met. I love your parents. I talk to Jen as though she's a sister. And I can't wait to get to know Ayla and Cedar at Shabbat lunch tomorrow. I don't really have time to pay tribute to all your accomplishments. In fact, if this evening was about what you've done in your life, they would have invited your former probation officer. But it is your bar mitzvah year. Today your special number is 13. People love numbers. They love statistics. They love to hear about world records. Some love sports stats. Others count Facebook likes. For others, it's retweets. And others are simply counting calories. I've been thinking about other special numbers. And when your tribute video began, I was thrilled because it precisely matched one of my special numbers, 340. You'll never guess what it refers to, but it is the area code of the US Virgin Islands. It has the numerical value of a number of Hebrew words, the word for polishing metal, the word to shine, and ironically, the word to count. But that's for another day. 340. That's the number of times I've stood in front of a choir and conducted Kol Nidre. Now, let me be honest, Michael. I haven't kept a record of every single choir, every single rehearsal, every single rendition in concert or at a service, but it's a fairly accurate number. So for something that one has done repeatedly for years, I think something pretty remarkable would have to happen, either good or bad, to remember a particular occasion to make it stand out. And during Kol Nidre, we also sing the prayer Shema Kolenu. The text comes, in fact, again during Yom Kippur itself. And the version that you probably know that I've conducted more than any other, though not as many times as Kol Nidre, it was the piece that I heard when I was a young child. It's not credited to anyone in particular, and nobody knows who wrote it, but I've conducted it many times. There was one occasion, Michael, I think it was more than 20 years ago, when I was conducting it in a concert, and this is where our story begins. I can remember it like it was yesterday. The male choir stood up. You stepped forward, you were just a member of the choir, and before you began, I picked up a high holiday prayer book and read the translation in my best British accent. Listen, O Lord, to our voice. Spare us, have compassion on us, and in favor accept our prayer. Turn us back, O Lord, to you, and we will return. Renew our days as of old. Ladies and gentlemen, the piece begins with a single note, the choir humming a single note. It's really unnerving. It's really exposed. And Michael began a simple tune. Michael, when you started singing, it was startling. You had no music in front of you. It was just you. Your focus was as sharp as a laser beam. It was pure. It was authentic. It was overwhelming. The sound of your voice, it wasn't manufactured. It was some of the most honest musical expression I've ever witnessed. I remember thinking that you had a hotline to somewhere that wasn't on earth. And friends, I venture to suggest that even then, Michael never entertained the idea of becoming a cantor. Michael, it occurs to me that the way you use your voice is like a Jedi Knight uses his lightsaber. In the words of Ben Kenobi, and I don't have to put on an accent, a lightsaber. It's not as clumsy or random as a blaster, an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. So when you look up certain words in the dictionary, Michael's name is right beside them. Selfless, humble, modest, patient, thoughtful, serious, curious, genuine, dedicated, committed, generous, principled, appreciative, caring. There are some other words too. Mischievous, playful, fearless, hysterical. And that leads me to just one of the moments that's in the synagogue top 10 list, the top 10 list of bloopers. And ladies and gentlemen, your cantor appears on that top 10 list. Now, according to the video, if Cantor Smolash green lights something to be done or something to be said, you could be getting into very, very much trouble. And I asked Michael if I could tell this story, and he said, absolutely. Clearly, I should have checked it out with the rabbi first. But here goes. I don't know if you know that on Rosh Hashanah there are many congregations that not only split up the blowing of the shofar, but the final sounds of the shofar are inserted into the Kaddish right at the end. So what happens is the Kaddish is going along, and it's the Kaddish Shalem, which is that very long one that ends with Oseh Shalom. And just before the words Titkabal, Tzolotahon, Uvaotahon, they stop the service, they do the final shofar sounds, and then they carry on, Titkabal, Tzolotahon, and so forth. So it was in the very first few years that the piece is going along, and we're going, Vehemru, and so on. And I suddenly realized I haven't told the choir we have to stop in the middle. So what do you do? Well, luckily, the choir was standing in a semicircle around me. So as they were singing, I started telling one by one, we're going to stop, we're going to stop. Just when you get to the Amen, just stop. Now, I knew the Amen wasn't designed as an Amen you would stop on, but it really didn't matter. We would slow down, we would say the Amen, and we would stop. Now, maybe I thought of all the people who would know this, it was Michael. So maybe I forgot to tell him. It's entirely possible that he was singing his heart out, and as I was sort of subtly whispering, we're going to stop, that he didn't know what I was talking about. Okay, here goes. So we went Ve'imru. The choir slowly sang Amen and stopped, but Michael didn't. And very loudly, as the text continued, Titkabal Tzolotahon, he decided to sing very loudly the first syllable of that Hebrew word. That's all I'm prepared to say. He declared to one and all a single syllable of the Aramaic Titkabal. And then he stopped. But seriously, Michael, it's not about the things you've done, it's about who you are. And from my perspective, maybe all of you have had a chance to experience this, but if not, here's what's coming in the next 13 years. Michael, my top pick is authenticity. You've managed to find a way to communicate who you really are. Because you make it about the lyrics, the music, the message, it comes across as something extraordinarily honest. It doesn't sound manufactured, contrived, artificial. It's real and we sense it. Passion. It seems to me that you've always had a true love and passion for singing and music. It's who you are. It's what you were born to do. In fact, I think I'm going to reference Star Wars again.
It is your destiny.
Michael, it's obvious to everybody that you have a natural talent. I mean, sure, you've worked really hard. I suspect that you didn't come out of your mum's womb singing and tap dancing. But you've always had a genuine interest in the craft, and that has propelled you to constantly hone your abilities and improve your performance. You've got an amazingly positive outlook. You telegraph confidence, strength of character, and self-belief. You have terrific charisma, terrific charm. Your creativity and originality are astounding. But more importantly, the way you offer ideas and move us ever closer to achieving the stated goal is amazing. Your ideas always make the performances more interesting, engaging, and exciting. You've got tremendous conviction. We all sense it. When you sing, you make an instant connection. You have compelling warmth. You have tremendous bravery to constantly put yourself out there and the necessary power and stamina it takes. Your support for your collaborators is wondrous. You have amazing flexibility and adaptability. You seem to have great physical stamina, and your self-discipline in terms of vocalizing, practicing, memorization, and so on, it's second to none. But Michael, the final and most important thing I have to say to you is now. As I look back at the trajectory of your life, as well as the moments I've been lucky enough to share with you, when I connect the dots, this moment here tonight makes complete sense. It's perfect that you have the opportunity to contribute to the life of Temple Israel and its family. And they have the good fortune of being the beneficiaries of what you're able to do and who you are. I'm feeling tremendously proud. Every day you're touching lives. Every day you're changing lives. There's also one other thing, and it's what I call collateral benefit. It's the unintended and often unknown positive consequences of our daily work. It's not just about the song, but it's how you made someone feel. The child who may think they're singing in the choir for one reason, but in fact they're learning about teamwork, developing confidence, finding themselves, finding their voice. The adult who finds community, family, friendship by singing in the tefillah team. Someone of another faith or religion whose sense of what Judaism is or can be is positively impacted by your manner, by your conviction, by your kindness. The grieving relative who finds some consolation in the music of the service. The honest rendition of a memorial prayer that honors the departed, brings solace to the mourner, and applies aloe vera to the burn of their loss. The B'nai Mitzvah student whose life and values are inexorably altered by encountering your kindness, your caring, and your belief in them. The use of so many different ways, both simple and technological, with which you reach out to people and make a connection. So, Michael, I somehow suspect that our meeting was meant to be. The work you're doing here honors your parents. It honors me. And most importantly, it brings honor to the Jewish people. Rabbi Dr. Jonathan Sachs says, where what we want to do meets what is crying out to be done, that is where we should be. So on behalf of everyone, my wish is that you may have the health and the energy to continue God's work for many years to come.
Ad Yavor Amech Adonai,
Ad Yavor Am Sulchanita,
Tvi'emo Vertitaemo V'Navolatecha, Adonai Imach Adonai
Stephen, thank you for sharing memories about Michael. You can have him back. Moving on, I want to turn to the choir. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to this group? All of you have something to say about Michael. Is there someone? Wait, did you raise your hand? You'd like to come up and say something? Wow, I'd like to let this guy, Dr. Ed Royal, the president of our congregation, come forward and share a few thoughts on behalf of all of us.
Let me wish y'all all Shabbat Shalom. What an amazing evening, and special thanks to Stephen Glass for making it even more special. In many congregations around the country, the president of the congregation is charged with the task of speaking to the bar bat mitzvah. But here at Temple, it's not our usual protocol. However, tonight I do have the honor to do so. So where's the bar mitzvah boy? Could you step up here? I have a few things to say to you. Usually you receive a chumash and maybe a yad. I have some other things for you a little later. Everybody here tonight knows how you beautify our services with your creative skills, with your beautiful voice, and especially your passion for prayer. And tonight you proved it by allowing all of us to experience this incredible, unbelievable evening. So on behalf of everybody here and the entire congregation, let me say thank you. At your audition about 13 years ago, we knew you were going to be great because you came from Canada. And that's the land where great cantors all originate, eh? But there was something else, the quality of your exceptionally pure tenor voice without an ounce, or should I say, without a milliliter of distortion. You understand that metric stuff, I think. You were the obvious choice, and now 13 years later, we couldn't be happier. But everybody here, we all know these things about you. So I did a little investigative research to find out the things that we don't know. And now, as Paul Harvey would say, here is the rest of the story, or at least the beginning of the story. You always have distinguished yourself, even at age 4, when you were enrolled in a creative dance class, and all the other students were little girls in their tutus, and you had to differentiate yourself by wearing a Superman t-shirt. So we collected this for you tonight. You don't have to put it on, but you can keep that for later. We also know that you're extremely dedicated to your Judaism. In Toronto, while you were cast in The Producers, you negotiated time off from rehearsals so you could conduct high holiday services at the Holy Blossom Temple. You might say that you're the Sandy Koufax of cantors. And so I got this memento for you. It's signed by the entire clergy team and the executive committee. And you should keep this to remember this night. You also make very wise decisions. So when you came here and you brought Dr. Jen Green with you, we knew that was a wise decision because she lights up every room that she walks into. And since then, you've added Ayla and Cedar to your family, who have rounded out the balance and the harmony in the choir of your life. So thank you to your family for enhancing our temple family and sharing you with all of us. And now we also know that you're a musician, but I also heard that you were a budding magician when you were growing up. So I'd like to do a little magic trick of my own. You all can see this little spongy red thing. Keep your eye on it because it's gone, but here it is. But the truth be told, the real magic is in here tonight and the magic you bring to all of us every day. You are a spiritual soul. You're my teacher, you're my cantor, you're my friend. And as you said at the end of each of your magic tricks, and I'm going to say first, Yasha Koach, and ta-da!
Now, every service has a kind of rhythm that moves forward, and it comes to a moment when it's a peak experience, when finally everything comes together. Everyone's waiting for that moment. And it can only happen when the most special person is given a very important role. And so now, Cedar Smolash, where are you? Come here, Cedar. I'm going to ask, everyone watch as Cedar leads us by walking up to the ark with his dad. That's you, Cantor. And we turn to the Aleinu on page 189, and together they open the ark.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We all know that Michael is talented musically, but he's also a poet. So before we turn to the Kaddish, I would like to share one of his offerings to our brand new prayer book. From the void that's opened up my soul, I see that every severed tie will hold, every love is written down in gold. And so remember now the loves of our lives, those we have lost in our congregation and community in the past 30 days, the period of Shloshim. Mark Applebaum, Arnold Becker, Barbara Began, Marty Cohen, Laurel Deitch, Sydney Gilbert, Barbara Goldstein, Maynard Gordon, Ruth Ray Gottlob, Bertha Grant, Andrew Saul Green, Isadore Harris, Sydney Lafer, Helen Levine, Sylvia Lurie, Eleanor Marks, Caroline Miller, Sherry Middledorf, Sonia Knopfman, Renee Overton, Ruth Rader,
Jeanette Rosen, Muriel Rothenberg, Dr. Alfie Rubenstein, Michael Schramm, Dr. Bernard Shapiro, Carol Scher, Helen Shevin, John Steele, Susan Trenkamp, and Charlotte Waxberg. We also recall the names of those whose yard sites occur on this Shabbat. Ann Alickman, Harold Hesh Berman, Carol Ray Cooper, Dr. Martin Deitch, Frida Dan, Rosalind Ivanoff, Shirley Frank, Helene Friedman, Marvin Fullett, Duane Geitz, Harry Glassman, Dr. Hillard Goldstick, Tilly Greenberg, Thelma Isaacs. Benjamin Commissar, Sonia Kudowitz, Sam Koretsky, Ann Lieberman, Adrian Kolb Mylan, Harvey Pliskow. Jean Polachek, Sam Rosen, Tilly Rubner, Robert David Salin, Philip Schiffer, Robert Schiffer, Isaac Sedletsky, Lola Siderman, Abe Steinberg, Charles Stearns, Cynthia Sturm, Frida Taxi, Ray Tisdale, Edith Tucker, Marshall Wise, Lita Wolgan, Arthur Jonas, Gary Feldman, Max Yetz, Archer Gray, Hyman Press, Albert Wolgan, Paul Kaminer, Rose Garenrich, Dr. Morton Garenrich, Janet Lakritz, Irving Levine, Simon Gervitz, Irvina Sherman, Bertha Bertie Klein, Milton Elias, Elaine Lumberg, Mildred Frank Karen, Sam Young, Fanny Barish, Nikki Armato, Larry Davis, Sheldon Sandweiss, Bess Karp, Gordon Abel, Tilly Fisher, Alan Herman, Elaine Herman, Bob Side, David Stearns, Carl Wolf, Malcolm Elias, Isabel Jade Bernstein, Samuel Bieber, Mark Beitner, Ben Pesner, Arthur Disner, Leon London, Eileen Silverman, Gladys Kay, Dr. Robert Gons, Gussie Saporan, Dr. Sylvia Coblin, Riva Wishnow, Mac Wishnow, Gary Bush, Ethel Okren, Albert Okren, Anna Glickman, Joel Goodman, Louis Levinson, Harry Trevax, and James Fahey. We remember them with love and honor them with the words of Kaddish, which can be found on page 199. Please rise. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dochol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam le'olnei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We pray that the source of peace sends peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen.
Just be seated for a moment. First, thanks for all the kind exaggerations. I think we've heard enough about me to carry us through the next 12 years, but there are others to thank both for tonight as well as for all the support since we've arrived at Temple. For the singers, let me echo what Stephen Glass so aptly said. You're amazing, and I think really the best of what I contributed to Temple is represented in you, in the Shabbat singers, the tefillah teams, the choirs. So thank you for everything you've done. To musicians, Jillian in New York, who wrote this piece we just heard, Stephen Glass, my friend, for coming. Sean, who really needs a celebration of his own for the amazing beauty he brings to everything at Temple for so many years. Thank you. And for the video, Rabbi Bennett produced, but also Bill Riss and Larry August to thank, as well as our whole technical team. That was really nice. I really want to say thank you to the staff, who, and especially the maintenance staff, who do just incredible things just outside of our site. It is phenomenal how they transform every space and work tirelessly, so thank you. And of course to Maya, who despite her job description is really more of an executive producer. Nothing happens without her, and thank you. To Sarah, really Stephen and Harold, I feel them hovering over everything we do. So thank you for your overflowing support of music at Temple. I am so appreciative. And you're only as effective as the teams that you're a part of. So to the exec, to the past presidents, to the clergy, I am so thankful to be on this journey with each of you. And especially to Neil. It is an honor to work with such a talented cantor. And I'm so grateful how we managed to leave room for each other to express. You are so amazing, and I love you like a brother, and I look forward to many, many years working together with you and admiring you. My parents, I'm so honored that you came in. I love you, and thank you for being here. And to my 3 sisters and 2 brothers now, and other family online, I love you, and I feel your support and your presence. Oh, Cedar and Ayla. 2, as my wife says, the best thing that ever happened to me. I feel so proud of the sensitive, brilliant souls that came down to our family. And Jen, when 2 people marry, we say 2 halves of one soul are weaving back together. And although she may be the less public aspect of our one soul at Temple, she's by no means the less impactful or important aspect. So Jen, thank you for doing so much and leaving so much space in our life to allow Temple to be so dynamic. I am inspired at how you led Temple from day one on ethical stances, from the environment to healthy food to celebrating diversity. And I'm moved to tears at the countless members who share with me how healing you have been in their lives as a doctor, and how quietly and tirelessly you work to help doctors and patients across the country with your research. My heart swells with gratitude when I see in my mind's eye your spiritual leadership each time the congregation prays for healing. I'm so unbelievably blessed to be your husband, and if those close to me at Temple get a gold medal for putting up with my mishigas, you get the Nobel Prize. I love you, I thank you, we thank you, and we conclude our service on page 202 with Ein Keloheinu.
Ein Keloheinu,
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.